Free! Julian Assange!
Only one decision!
No extradition!
Free!
Julian Assange!
Free! Julian Assange! Free! Julian Assange!
What do we want? Free Assange! When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Free Assange!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Free Assange!
When do we want it?
Now!
All right. See, you're warmer already, aren't you? So, I mean, a lot of it you guys know. You know that this is horrific. You know that Assange is a fucking hero. You know that the things he did for journalism, but really for this world, are in many ways unparalleled in the terms of the breadth of the truth that was revealed about repressive and secretive governments around the world. This guy should have fucking statues up for him, and instead he's in prison because he threatened them. He threatened them. He threatened the way they rule. The way the ruling elite can keep everything they do secret and not fear that we'll find out. Not fear that we'll know the truth about our governments. They fear others will stand up like him. He set an amazing example of courage to reveal these things. And that is what's so dangerous. And so that is why, obviously, the UK should not extradite him. He should be free. He should be able to tour the world, giving speeches, and continue his work of journalism. And you guys are incredible for coming out and supporting that and demanding that. What do we want?
Free Assange!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Free Assange!
When do we want it?
Now!
The leading progressive politicians won't be saying his name. AOC in a fucking interview with The Intercept the other day said, I don't know about freeing Julian Assange. I don't know about a pardon for Julian Assange. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. That's what your progressive shining light AOC had to say about Julian Assange. She said, Edward Snowden, there's an argument to be made there. Julian Assange, I don't know. Well, I know, all of you know the work that this man has done and that he will continue to be able to do if he is free. And we need him free now more than ever. There's only one decision! No extradition! There's only one decision!
No extradition!
There's only one decision!
No extradition!
Free! Julian Assange!
Free!
Julian Assange!
Free! Julian Assange!
Free! Julian Assange!
Whether you want to bother with the futile task of trying to reform the Democratic Party and moving it to the left, we've already heard that AOC, the so-called darling of the left, has failed to stand up for Julian Assange. Now I'd like you to instead consider joining your local affiliate of the Green Party of the United States.
Now that we know that the CIA was spying on him and his lawyers, now that we know that the CIA was plotting to assassinate him, that this idea was pitched by David Morales to kill him, now that we know that, there is absolutely no way he can be extradited here and to expect anything even pretending to be a free or fair trial. There is absolutely no way legally that he can be extradited to this country which has already tortured him for years, which is controlling his prosecution in London, which is compelling the British state, which is America's poodle, to torture him in this maximum security prison.
We've had Obama's administration prosecute more whistleblowers than anyone else previously in history combined. And Donald Trump broke that fucking record. Donald Trump is prosecuting a journalist. It is his administration, at the advice of Rick Grinnell, that is bringing forth these charges that will end our public right to know. They hide it behind the veil of a right-wing leader because they are the ones who people think will defend free speech. We cannot allow their propaganda to allow this to happen.
If the U.S. has the right to prosecute somebody from another country and extradite them back to the U.S., then, for something like this, then what don't they have the right to do? Where does U.S. overreach stop? it has to stop here. It has to stop with Assange. It has to stop with one of the most valuable journalists of our era. And that's why we have to be out here to demand that the extradition stop and that Assange be freed, and eventually one day see to it that this terroristic U.S. empire is brought down.
Regardless of the outcome, I know that we're going to continue to struggle, and that I'll see you guys at the Justice Department tomorrow, and that we shouldn't forget the impact that the work Assange did can have, and as Max said, just hold up his example. So thank you all for doing that by being out here today, and viva la revolución and viva Assange. We are living in a fascism that is cryptic. People thought that voting Trump out was enough. You can't vote your way out of this. You can't rebrand socialism as an imperialist, pro-regime change brand like AOC has managed to do. We can't allow that to happen because co-option is a part of the system. It's how the establishment continues, sheep herding people back into a party that has shown them time and time again that they don't care. So why is this relevant to Julian Assange? Well, because the progressive movement has largely ignored him. We won't have the ability to inform others on what's actually happening. We don't have the ability to provide real journalism to counter the lies of the establishment corporate media. And that is important. That's why we're out here fighting for those people who mock this as a right-wing talking point, who mock the deep state, who pretend that the deep state isn't real and hasn't been real for decades. They literally say, oh, you're a right-wing, you're right-wing Nazi for talking about the deep state. A lot of the left has fallen into that trap. And I have to talk about that because as a leftist, we need to be more loud about Julian Assange. The fact that more Republicans and libertarians in our Congress are fighting for free speech and standing up against censorship, is a shame. We also need to go beyond classifying people as a right-winger for simply having a different point of view. This is an issue that is beyond party lines.
No extradition! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! No extradition!
Okay, on the count of three, everybody say fuck the British. 1, 2, 3.
Fuck the British!
1, 2, 3.
Fuck the British!
1, 2, 3.
Fuck the British!
Fuck Pretty Patel!
Did you owe that sign down? Absolutely. 1, 2, 3.
Fuck the British! Free Julian! Free Julian! Yeah.
Okay, this time free Assange on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.